give us a presidential report there.
Okay, so I got some footnotes here, and I thank Margarita for doing the presentation because it was very educational. It's good to go into some of the science and understand all the backgrounds. So one of my footnotes is fairs. So far as I know, as far as like we've been told, the fairs are going to happen this year. In what capacity, we're not sure yet. There's a bunch of guidelines that were published. I will share that on our Google page. I have a PDF so you can kind of view it yourself, but more information will be coming along. The 2022 Farm Show is planned. Presently, we're going back to the rules before things got canceled, hoping to incorporate some of the more successful virtual programs. There were some things that happened really well, and they're going to try to incorporate some of that so even distance visitors can participate. But all this is, of course, we don't want to get too far ahead because we're not sure how things can change. Encourage everybody to do the loss surveys. The Be Informed Partnership has a national survey that it's out right now, and I can share that link. Checked with Steve. Were we able to get the state association survey up yet, or is that going to happen?
I'm trying to look here. I think okay, survey's up on the website. So we do have our winter loss survey is on the PA State Beekeepers website. Bob should be sending out an email probably this week, if not when the newsletter goes out for that link to go everywhere. But right now you can go on our state website and fill out the Pennsylvania winter loss survey.
Okay, so I'll find that link and I'll share that along with the BIP, the Be Informed Partnership. And just these surveys are really good information. I think Margarita can attest to that because it's more than just curiosity. They're actually pulling information that's useful, especially when we're talking about legislation and research. So do your loss surveys. I had a request this week if there's somebody in the Union City area that would like to help with the summer reading program. They're looking for a volunteer to assist with that. If you be interested, contact me and I can get you more information. I will probably post it up on our Google page as well. State Association is having a summer picnic at the Fisher Farm in Lewistown. It's July 17th, I believe. The state annual meeting is November 5th, 6th, and 7th at State College. And more information will come along with that. I assisted our treasurer with doing the audit, and our tax return is complete and ready to go in. Our dues this year, we reduced to $7.50 instead of $15. So what we were doing is anybody that paid the $15 is going to get an extra year. We're just going to add that on. If you have any questions about your membership, email Fern, but try not to call her because she gets inundated with calls, and emails are easier for her to do in her leave. When she
Charlie, there's some people ask about, and I think Bert's been handling it. Can you post her mailing address on the Google board also?
Yeah, we can do that.
Just send their dues in.
Yeah.
Her address is on the website as well. If you go to the tab it's called the membership tab, and you click on the link that asks for the brochure, her address is on the brochure as well as her phone number, and also the information necessary to pay dues.
That was
Charlie, tell us about the Earthsea tour coming up.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the work that Fern and Bert have been doing. Keeping that membership list is a major task, and it takes a lot of time. And right now we currently have around 350 members. So that's a lot of paperwork, and it can be a lot of wasted time if we got bad information. But I really appreciate the help from those guys. Lastly, we'll talk a little bit about the field day, which will be June 19th at the Ernst Farm. And tentatively, we're going to probably start about 10 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to do a tour first so that we don't have to hold up their staff. We can do a tour of the place first, and then we're going to ask people to bring their own lunch, because we don't want to get involved with dealing with food during COVID restrictions. And then we're going to work on the other part of the program is going to be drone marking and releasing. It helps you for the purpose of just learning to touch bees. Drones don't have stingers, so they make a good candidate for picking them up and handle them and mark them like you would a queen. So we're going to have a lot of strange colored drones flying around. As far as the queen program, right now, I mean, we are kind of in a bad spot to make extra queens, and I'm not sure that that's even a successful model. But what I have done, I took a lot of losses over the winter, but I have moved all my survivors, or enough survivors into that local area to create a good drone pool. So that yard is still going to be an excellent mating yard. And to get kind of back to basics, because a lot of times we're talking about grafting and making queens, but for the small beekeeper, it really just need to increase like 1 or 2 hives. So what my suggestion going here is for you to bring your own nuke with eggs in it, because you can let the bees create their own queen cell, but if we have it in a good mating area, you're still going to pick up some of that genetics in your bees. So, and right now I've got some pretty good survivors, considering I took such a loss. I took about a 70% loss this year. So all the good stuff is still there. And we're going to have a nuke raffle. We're going to raffle 2 nukes. Mike Sinetta, one of our members, seems to have good success every year. And I asked him if he might consider making the nukes, and he will. His genetic background is the mite maulers and Minnesota hygienics, and they're survived in this area. So it's really and he does very minimal mite treatment. I'm almost upset at him because he told me what he did, and it's like he doesn't hardly do anything. I wish I could do that. There's probably other explanations for that, but anyway, it's a good genetic stock, and but that'll be available too.
And also, it'll be an excellent time if you haven't paid your dues, that you could pay your dues at that time. We'll be there in person to collect that and get you registered.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, I did post the agenda a couple of days ago, and also the report from the Secretary Susan was up on the minutes. Currently, you can see that we have over $5,000. Our only expense was for State Farm for the insurance for the organization. I did talk to Bert. He said we had 1 new member that signed in this year. This last month. That's about it. I want to honor everybody's time. We kind of went 5 minutes over, but I think we had a great meeting. And is there any other closing comments?
Ken, I'd just like to mention that for those that aren't aware, all of the meetings that we have that are recorded on Zoom, this will be all the Zoom meetings, are actually, there are links to all those videos on the website. And if you just go to it's educational videos, I think is what the tab is called. If you just go there, you'll see every one of the meetings all the way back to last summer are posted there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's another. Our Bert has been doing a good job bringing the website into, kind of up to speed and adding more things to it, making it interesting. And we can thank Dr. Ken for he's been doing all the editing on these meetings and the video, and he's making it possible with a lot of extra spare time there. So thank you.
Good, thanks. I want to thank Steve again joining our panel. Fred Den, also I want to thank you, and Charlie. I think we had some really good questions and answers at the beginning. And of course, Margarita, you're always charming in your presentation. I appreciate that also. So no further ado, I'm going to call the meeting adjourned.